Thanks for everyone attending today. What I'd like to do is just run through a quick brief of Cazaly and who we are, and then focus on our latest exciting project, which is the Sundown Lithium project. And then I'll also touch base on a new acquisition that we've got in Australia as well. On next slide, thanks, David. Just over that one, the usual disclaimer. People can read that at their leisure. Next slide, thanks. So Cazaly has been around for quite a while. They were actually floated on the ASX in 2003 by Clive Jones and the late Nathan McMahon. So Cazaly is 20 years old this year, which is quite a milestone. So they've always been a diverse international, exploration company. We've always been based in Australia, but certainly had projects overseas during that lifespan, and we continue that journey today. At the moment, we have projects based out of Western Australia. One is an advanced project at Halls Creek. So that's copper, zinc and silver. At the moment, on that project, we have an MOU with AU King, and so they've completed an initial mine scoping study, which was positive. And so we will be looking to advance that project with AU King in mind. The Ashburton copper gold rare earth project. So this is a very large land holding in the Ashburton Basin, and we have several regional scale mineralised trends there with gold, copper and also rare earths. The Lyons rare earth project is our most recent addition, and I'll talk to that at the end of this talk. And we have a couple of projects in Namibia. We have the Kyoko project, which the current focus there is lithium. We have a very large soil anomaly, which is 10 kilometres by 12 kilometres, so it is huge. That project is under review at the moment, and in the renewal phase. So once that licence has been renewed, then we can get back on the ground. The Abernab North project is in application. Now, this is a rare earth project. We know we have carbonatites there. We know that they're mineralised, and that project is in application. We expect that grant to be coming through soon too, in the next few months. The application was actually submitted in November last year, so it is a bit of a slow process in processing in Namibia of new applications, but nonetheless, there's no issues with that. We touch base with our team on the ground over there in Namibia, and it has progressed through the system. So now it's just a matter of getting that official notification that it's gone through the process. And our projects in Canada. So we have another carbonatite project in Ontario, which is called Cazaly. And the one I'd like to talk to you about today is our latest project, which is the Sundown Lithium project. And it's a pretty exciting play, so keen to get stuck into that. And if there's any other information you want on the other projects, please jump onto our website for more detail or contact me at any time. Next slide, thanks. Yeah, next slide, thanks. This is just, I guess, a little pictorial about Cazaly and what we do. As I mentioned, we're an exploration company. We've got a diverse portfolio of commodities, as you've seen in Australia and overseas. We're very much boots on ground, add value to our projects. We'll look to advance those projects and then work out what's going to be the best value add for the company. And, you know, previously the company has returned that value to shareholders, which is a no mean feat by a junior. That's a very good feather in the cap. Next slide, thanks. So just to our capital structure, another very good reason to invest in Cazaly. We have a good business model, and also our share price is about 3.5 cents. We have cash and investments to about $6.7 million, and our market cap is at about $12.8 million. So in my mind, it's a great opportunity to invest in Cazaly. We have an early stage lithium project in Canada, which I'll tell you about now. And it's a perfect opportunity to get in early. We've certainly seen a number of other companies have a good run on the back of new lithium discoveries. And so we certainly hope to be advancing this one as soon as we can. Next slide, thanks. There's our team, our board and management. So Clive Jones, founding director of Cazaly, is now the chairman. He's got many successes under his belt. Just to name a few, he was founder of Bannerman and also Galan, who both have world-class assets in battery mineral space. Myself, I've got about 6 million ounces of gold discovery under my belt. So we are certainly keen to progress the company, making new discoveries and new successes. We've also got a very strong technical team and with a lot of corporate experience as well on the board to move us forward. Hopefully the slides will catch up. So the Sundown Lithium project is located in Quebec, James Bay. Next slide, thanks. Okay, here we go. So this is our Sundown Lithium project located in James Bay. This is a very large land holding, so we're quite pleased to have this in the portfolio now. So we secured 260 square kilometres of land in a fantastic spot for exploration discoveries. You know, there's some very large lithium deposits there already, and we've already seen new discoveries in this district with Patriot Battery Metals, who recently announced a resource. And also we've seen a lot of other juniors moving into the area, and the reason for that is it is so underexplored for lithium. You can see on our tenement package there's lots of little circles, so those little dots are pegmatite sightings, and the beauty about this is they've actually never been sampled for lithium. You can see the Eleanor, I think it's pronounced, Newmont mine to the south of us, that's a gold mine, and historically this area has been well explored for gold. So therein lies the opportunity. We've got a very large land holding. We're in a great district with world-class lithium deposits. So, you know, we know it's a great opportunity for discovery, and the plan is just to get on the ground as soon as we can. Next slide, thanks. We do know that there has been forest fires in Quebec and also across the rest of Canada, actually, which have delayed progress in the field. Nonetheless, we have done as much desktop target generation as we can. And so this is a bit of a complex slide, I guess, but what it does show is basically we've reviewed all of those pegmatite sightings. We've looked at all Landsat imagery, all sorts of other imagery that we can get our hands on to delineate pegmatites in the field. We know the Geological Survey have been on the ground and done some mapping here just in the last 12 months. And so they've identified a new lithium prospective zone called the Gladman Suite. Our tenement does have a fair bit of that package inside of it. So it means that we've got prospective ground for LTC pegmatites, actually. So it's the opportunity is there, and we're very keen to get on the ground. I was actually talking to our team over there this morning early, which is late night for them. And while we do have the chopper and we do have a team ready to go, unfortunately, due to the forest fires in the district, the fire ban is still in place. So we can't get in, even though we are scheduled to be on the ground there at the end of this month. We just have to keep discussions open with the government and find out when the fire ban is going to be lifted. Next slide, thanks. This is just a very brief timeline, of course, subject to a number of things, one of which was fires and availability of rigs down the track as well. But basically this month we completed a due diligence. We've entered into the transaction with One Minerals, and so now we have 25% of the project, and that will we'll basically acquire another 25% each year. We've prioritised all our targets. As soon as we can get on the ground out there, we will, and conduct some surface geochemical sampling. That will give us a really good idea on where we can hone in, focus in on these mineralised pegmatites. So subject to the approvals of that, we are looking to do either more exploration if it's required for drill targeting, and then after that, obviously testing the best targets with drilling. Next slide, thanks. I'll go very briefly because I think I'm getting over time now, but just quite quickly, our Lyons rare earth project. Next slide, thanks. So here we're in the Bangamole Basin. It's again a fantastic opportunity. We have a very large land holding in the district. We're centred on the Lyons River Fault. Now, this is a significant structure. It is tapping the mantle, so we do know that this is essentially the plumbing system which has provided the pathway for the fluids which has formed the rare earth deposits at Yangibana and also at Yin. In those two deposits, just up the road, we're in very good territory there, and there's also potential here for base metal mineralisation, evidenced by the Abra deposit to the east. Again, this is an early stage greenfields project, so there is no work being done by Cazaly on this project. We're planning a field assessment at the end of this month to get on the ground and see what the next stages are in the exploration plan on this particular tenement package. Next slide, thanks. So just to wrap it up, I think Cazaly is a fantastic buying opportunity at 3.5 cents. We have a huge lithium play at the moment that we're about to attack in James Bay, which is, full Canada's a tier 1 mining district, so it's an easy place to operate. We know we can get on the ground as soon as the fire bans are lifted, and we know the potential for discovery there is high. So it is an opportunity for investors to get into a great lithium story and very, very early stages. That's it from me. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks, Tara. A great presentation. And I should have mentioned at the beginning, Tara's actually at Diggers and Dealers in Kalgoorlie at the moment. So the slight delay to slides is no doubt caused by the 2,500-3,000 people all trying to connect to their internet at the same time. So thank you, Tara, for picking that up and noting that. So that's where the delay did come from. Couple of questions for you. Despite being 20 years old, the company has a very acquisitive history. It loves acquiring things, adding value, and then determining what to do to generate further value for shareholders. One of the questions, and maybe more specifically to do with the Canadian assets, what are the hurdles that you put an acquisition through to make sure it's a perfect fit for Cazaly and its shareholders?
I guess because Cazaly's always been project generation as well, so we're always trying to look ahead, or look at where the demand's going to be, as far as what metals, what commodities should we be in, and in that regard, we all sort of know the push in the green battery mineral space, if you like. So while we still very much like gold and copper, long term, we still think they're very good assets to have in the portfolio, and so we still do. We also think that battery metals do have a great future. We know there's a high demand there, and so it makes sense for us to move into the lithium space. And to secure a land holding of that size, we're obviously always looking, David, as you know, and to secure a land holding of that size with that potential for lithium discoveries, we we hadn't seen that anywhere else. So that's really why we launched onto that particular project. We thought it was a good value project with the upside and the scalability as well.
Acquiring a project such as this, and being a jurisdiction a reasonable distance from home, is partnership and support and teams almost as important as the project itself?
Oh, look, they certainly play a critical role, David, and we've got a great team on the ground over there. And also, you know, our partner in this one, Minerals, they've also been very supportive. But our contacts on the ground are great, even though there's, you know, the time difference isn't ideal. We're generally up late at night or early in the morning to have discussions, to get updates. But they're in the thick of it, these guys, and it's what they do every day. So, you know, for me, working amongst bears and flying in choppers is a little bit foreign, but for them, it's their day-to-day activity. So, which is great. You know, they have the best safety systems in place, and you know, and they're also very familiar with the territory. So it works really well. So in that regard, it's going to be a great opportunity for us to get over there on the ground with them and actually be a part of that first campaign.
Now, given you are at Diggers and Dealers, one of the largest mining conferences globally, what's the mood? What's the theme? What's everyone talking about?
Yeah. Well, I think for the first time, David, we just had a quick chat about this. There's actually more battery minerals companies here than there are gold companies. You know, so that's a real one for the books for Cazaly, you know, very well known for the gold endowment up here. So the mood is positive. There's plenty of people around, you know. Diggers is still quite a great space to obviously catch up with everyone across industry, and there's people coming from overseas and also over east. So it's a really good opportunity to see, you know, what people are offering. A good potential time to do deals as well still, which is great news. And yeah, the feel on the ground is all pretty positive so far. So that's the feeling I get. Yeah.
Well, it's only early in the event, so thank you for giving up time so early in the day in Diggers time. Appreciate it. Right company, right time. Great experience, and always thinking of how to add value for shareholders. Tara, thanks for your time.
Thanks, David. Sorry about the internet. It's a bit sketchy.
No problems at all.